Greetings, students and parents. This is Master Tim with Apollo Sun King Korean Martial Arts, and I just wanted to go over the difference between punishment and consequences, just to give everybody an idea. I'm going to start going over a few things, either each day or every week, to give you some insight on parenting and just give you a little knowledge that you can use at home with your children, or you can use in your family or at the workplace. Most people think that punishment is the way to go, but in actuality, punishment is more of a disciplinary rather than a developmental based. Punishment requires immediate action and to encourage a person to not do what has happened again. However, in my opinion, what tends to happen is, and the result is, adults or children are punished and later commit the same offense days or maybe even hours later after the punishment. The reason behind this is because in order for punishment to be effective, it must occur on the spot and has to almost have a long-lasting effect. So basically what they're saying is, if I'm punishing my child or somebody's being punished, that it is, in order for it to really work, it has to be immediate. So it happens. Punishment happens. That's the reason why you see so many people in our society, they get in trouble with the police, they get in trouble with the law, and then something happened, and they go to prison or jail for this long period of time, and then they still do the same thing. Because what happens is they go through the court trials, they go through all the different things, and it takes months, maybe even years, before any punishment actually occurs. So once a punishment does occur, it really has no effect, because what has happened is done with, and it's basically out of their mind. It's not in the subconscious. It's as though it didn't even happen. Like, what did they do wrong? They don't even remember what they done wrong. They have to be reminded, like, what happened. So punishment, it can be good in some ways and bad in other ways. For the most part, punishment needs to be immediate and have a long-lasting effect, and that effect needs to be enough to tap into their subconscious mind to where. So the question is, so is punishment the right way? Well, in some cases, yes, and others, no. However, for the most part, punishment lacks developmental tactics for the one being punished. So in my opinion, it's ineffective and sometimes isn't followed through in a timely manner. Thus, it loses its effectiveness because of time. The definition of consequences and how punishment versus consequences work in this particular scenario. Consequences, something that happens as a result of a particular action or set of conditions. A conclusion derived through logic. Okay? So the consequences based on what happened, using logic to make what happened happen again, or encourage what happened to continue. Consequences is more of a developmental tactic rather than a punishment. Consequences requires logical effort, either based on the action and its involvement, or the one enforcing the consequences. For an example, if you work, you make money, you can pay the bills. On the other hand, if you fail to work, you can't make money, you can't pay the bills. Thus, this is an action based on its involvement in the working field of life. Now, enforced consequences is a little bit different, but almost the same. Enforced consequences is more along the lines of you get to go outside, you have a time, or you give your child a curfew, and they don't meet the requirements of this curfew, so you say, okay, you still can go out, but I'm taking some of this time until you learn to manage your time. So you're reinforcing the consequences by taking the time to help to make the decision, which in logic, it helps them develop the habit of making better decisions based on consequences and based on action rather than just punishment. Now the big question about all this is, how is punishment and consequences different? Well, like I said in the beginning, punishment is more of a just way of saying you've done this, and to rectify this is going to happen. Now, this is way left. Let's go back to the 18th century. If you've done something that was wrong, or you stole, or you done something, you got your hands chopped off, you got hung, you got all this crazy stuff. Realistically speaking, will it solve anything besides guy losing his hand or someone not being able to see tomorrow? No, it won't. It won't. Okay. Yes, I'm a firm believer in capital punishment, and also I believe you get what you give. But I also believe that people can be better, help better developed through using methods that help to improve as a human. And I want to go ahead and end this, and I just want to say thank you for watching this 6 to 7 minute long video of me constantly talking about punishment and consequences. And I hope you learned something from it. And I hope to see you again next week. Have an awesome day. Apollo Sun Can, Korean Martial Arts Academy. Peace, everybody. Have a good day.